Hey, this is Dave with Brazos Barbell, and today I'm going to be talking about a few of the cues that I use that have really made a dramatic difference in my deadlift and how I coach deadlifting. So the primary ones that we're going to be talking about here is really going to be stuff involved in your upper body and thoracic stuff. So watching this first deadlift, this is going to be addressed later on when I get into the working sets, and how we'll try to describe it is going to be going through my warm-ups, working up to a top set, and then these triples. So, but I want to start here to look at some of the things that I'm doing to create good length in my arms and really maintain a good posture through the pulls. So, what I want to talk about to start off with is going to be how to pull slack effectively. So, one of the things that I do before I actually deadlift is I pump on the bar. I test the bar a little bit, and really what that's cueing for me is setting my grip. It's getting my arms long, and it's getting me as far away from the bar as possible. So one of the things that I tell people to do is to pull themselves tall. So right here, this is where I'm trying to pull myself before I'm trying to leave the floor. Most of what I'm cueing is within my shoulders and my chest. So how I describe this to lifters is from your arms are a rope in between an inner tube and a boat or a jet ski or whatever that's pulling it, and if that line is taut, then the boat can essentially take off as quickly as you want to, and there's not going to be a lot of jerk for the people on the tube. But if there's slack in that line and you take off really fast, then you're going to lose your position and you're not going to be able to maintain tightness very well. So from my hand up my shoulders down. Let me use a different one. So from hand across my shoulders down to the other hand, this is basically a strap. I'm really not trying to keep anything together. I'm not trying to retract my shoulder blades. I'm trying to let those arms hang dead like ropes or chains, and then from there I try to pull my chest through my arms to get the weight moving. So we can see what that looks like live speed right here. So I'm really trying to let my arms be dead and pull my shoulders and chest through first. So the biggest cue, I think it's used a whole lot with deadlifting in general, is just long arms, but I think we can coach that. So this is what we see how it looks live. Now we'll go through my process as far as how I'm going to be cueing this. So most what I want to talk about today is going to be the upper body stuff. I mean, there's going to be a component with how we set our hips, which right here we can see that one of the biggest things is going to be maintaining a relatively high hip position. So when we're pulling into this posture, you can see my hip level isn't really changing a whole lot. I'm trying to keep my hips relatively high, but when I'm pulling, I'm starting with my shoulders slightly in front of the bar and pulling my shoulders up and back. And this will hopefully get the bar to, this is the drill that I do with a little halting deadlift, is that it gets the bar to come off the floor and gets me tight in a good position, and then I just strive straight from there. So I usually practice this drill a few times with 135, with 225, and it's part of the cueing as far as getting my arms long and how I should create tension effectively. So we'll see me kind of start going through this. Now what I'm doing with my arms up top is thinking about having them relaxed and long, and then I squat down as high as I can to get my hands to the bar, and then from there you can see me creating tension by pulling my shoulders up away from the bar as much as I can. So right here when I'm doing this one, the mistake is I think that lifters try to feel tight, and they just try to grip the bar hard, and they try to pinch their shoulders together. What I'm really trying to do is I'm trying to forget about my arms, and my arms and hands and everything are dead, and I'm trying to, sometimes I use the analogy like you're a Lego man or something. You're a toy, and you can dislocate your arms. You can just pop them out of their sockets relatively easily. And so my arms are just those toy arms connected to the bar. And so if I pull hard enough, I can get them to pop out of their sockets, which is almost the cue that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get my trunk lead the way before anything else does when I pull. So I just pull my shoulders and I drag the bar behind me. So that's a big cue as far as I think getting lifters to pull well, is to not pull the bar. I like leg press the floor. I think that's a good cue too, but pull yourself tall, pull your shoulders up away from it, and get your chest and shoulders moving and drag the bar behind you. So one of the things that I think that's getting a little bit more popular with sumo deadlifting is a little bit of the rounded upper back, which I like and I do use. It gets your arms a little bit longer, but I think we can make this even better by cueing chest first. So that doesn't mean to start higher than you should. It just means right in here that when I'm pulling high, and I'm really trying to get my chest moving before anything else does. And so I'll kind of break that down here as I get into the heavier ones. So this is my last warm up here at 675, and we've tried to see that the process is basically going to be the same every time. I'm trying not to take any different approach as I did here as any of the other ones. So I'm just feeling my hips be open right here, feeling my arms be long. Little squat, open up, find the bar. So this position right here I think is a good example, is that what I'm trying to do right here is use my legs to pull my arms out of their sockets, to pull myself as high as I can while maintaining integrity with my back. So I never really sacrificed a good flat back in this position, but I'm using my legs to really pull my arms out of their sockets and create tension specifically in my quads. So one of the biggest things with sumo too is that we like to have the angle from your quad down your knee be as open as possible. I don't really like a right angle right there. That makes it to where it's very, very challenging off the floor. So what we're doing in this position is I found the bar, arms are nice and loose. I use my legs to pull myself up as high as I can. So up is a big deal, and then from here I'm pulling my shoulders up and back as much as I can. So this brings my hips lower, but the whole process is trying to get my shoulders as tall as I can get them, and then the back part brings my hips into the bar, but it doesn't actually get my hips too low. So it's going to be the biggest thing. So up and back when I'm pulling. So now we'll go with 745 from here. So I'm trying to do the same thing. It's just long arms, pull my trunk out of my arms, and then pull my shoulders as high as I can, which should pull my hips into the bar. But thinking about trying to get your hips low in an effort to try to get your trunk vertical, I think is a mistake. I think most of what I'm trying to accomplish when I'm getting set up for the deadlift is mostly thoracic stuff. It's getting my arms long, and then having a strong upper back. So a lot of accessories, the upper back work will be big to be able to maintain this position. But long arms, find the bar, set that grip, pull your shoulders up and back, pull tall, and then from here I'm just trying to pull as tall as I can. So this deadlift was a little bit harder than I thought it would be. I had heavier deadlifts last week, so this session I didn't expect to go super well, but it works well for the video. Is that right here, because the deadlift was hard, you can see how hard I'm having to fight for this position, and I'm really having to work to lead with my chest in this position. So instead of letting my shoulders really round and my chest drop and my hips rise as I'm getting this pull going, I'm trying to pull my chest through my arms to get my weight moving. So my shoulders go up and back, and my chest comes through my arms. Now the difficulty here is that the lifters will occasionally let their hip level get too low. You can see my hips are obviously still very high. The bar is off the ground, but it's not very high. The problem would be if when I'm trying to pull my chest up, that lifters get close to a right angle on their knees, or their hips drop too low. So hips as high as possible, and then trying to pull your chest through your arms will be the biggest deal. So that's been something that's actually sort of new to me. I used to pull my head down a lot more and with my chest a little bit more concave, but as I've switched to this style, initially it felt a little bit harder off the floor, but it's been a pretty big difference in my deadlift. The Arnold in 2016, I guess is what it was my first 700-pound deadlift, and a year later I pulled what's now the American record at 772, and it was not a whole lot of programming corrections. I guess there was some of that, but it was a lot of technical work. So now we're coming back to this front angle that I really like. So we'll be able to see how extended my legs actually are. I'm really trying to keep my hips high and my knees pretty extended, and so this is where the legs come in. Is you can think about pushing with your quads to raise your body high, and you can see how high I'm trying to keep my shoulders and my hips. And that rep was a little bit sloppy off the floor right there. I got pulled forward, but these are a whole lot better. That the emphasis is going to be, get to it. Everything should rise. I use my legs right there. My legs are very flexed. My arms are really long, but I'm not trying to pull them together. I'm trying to keep them long. My lats are engaged, and so from there, shoulders go up and back, which pulls my hips in, and then I just try to pull my chest as through my arms and to the ceiling as I can, maintaining that path. It would be a mistake to get back too early, so I'm really trying to pull straight to the ceiling. Knees get locked out, and then I'm able to get my shoulders back effectively. So last set here. So I think thinking about that, what I described earlier is as a strap across your arms. So we'll get down here and we'll see that my arms are basically dead all the way across right here, and I'm just trying to take advantage of that being just a lifting strap, and then I can pull my chest up and through and just fight for that position. So be patient off the floor, lead with your chest, long arms, drag the bar behind you, and those cues have been very, very effective for getting my deadlift to feel a whole lot more effective, efficient, and maintain a good position through most of it. So thanks for watching the video. Hope that helps. Subscribe to the channel.